Prologue. AOA, the shout echoed up the tenement alleyways of Washington Heights. I didn't have to look. I knew it was Jeff Vagnetta coming up the fire escape behind me. Jeff was the roof man on the 6x9 tour in ladder 3-4. I was assigned the outside vent man position, OVM, which meant I had the honor of going up the fire escape first. This was a water leak on the 4th floor in apartment 4G. Water leaks were common in the Heights, so were drug dealer apartments. The leak was coming into the caller's 4th floor apartment, so we headed up to the 5th floor. After getting no response from 5G, Lieutenant Charlie Connor, our boss that night, gave me the nod to gain access through the fire escape. As I made my way onto the fire escape, I peered through the window of 5G. The place looked vacant. Probably a drug apartment. Jeff joined me out on the landing. "And what do we have here?" he said as he kneeled down and looked into the window. He hit the handy talkie. 3-4 roof to 3-4. Go ahead, Jeff. "Hey, Lou, we got a vacant apartment. Going to make access." "Okay, Jeff," Lieutenant Connor replied. "Be careful." Like that was enough to keep bad things from happening. I wedged the adze end of my Halligan tool into the bottom of the metal replacement window, the same ones that the Gambino crime family installed in most of the old tenements in Upper Manhattan. The window popped easily. So far, so good. No electric shock booby trap. That was a good start. Which made me think back to last week when the OVM Don Cassidy got a shock that threw him on his ass and landed him on the fire escape. Captain Finnegan and I, along with the can man, were forcing the door to the fire apartment that day when all of a sudden his frantic voice came over the handy talkie. The chilling voice of our OVM yelling, "I'm getting electrocuted." "Oh shit," we all said in unison as we broke the door down and made our way to the window in a light smoke condition. As I looked out the window, I saw Don on his ass, looking a little jolted. "Wow, that hurt," Don yelled. I had to laugh, but I was also very relieved that he was okay. Then I pulled the wire that the drug dealers had attached to the window gate out of the socket. After the apartment 5G window popped, I opened it and yelled, "Bombero, bombero," Spanish for fireman. No answer. The apartment was dark, so I slowly made my way in through the window, one leg at a time. Still good. No pit bulls. Drug dealers sometimes removed their dogs' voice boxes so they couldn't bark. Silent ambushes. In the Heights at that time, the Dominican drug dealers were ruthless. They wouldn't think twice about shooting us. Regardless, we continued into the dirty, dingy apartment. As I looked around with my 12-volt ever-ready flashlight fastened to an old seatbelt and thrown over my right shoulder, I noticed little to no furniture, just some old sheets covering the windows. As I dragged my light across the living room floor, I saw a table with a triple beam scale and a few chairs. So it was a drug apartment. Jeff hit the radio. "Lou, we got a drug apartment." My heart picked up. I heard Lieutenant Connor and his forcible entry team, Can Man and Irons Man, heading up the stairs. I started checking the usual stash spots. In the bathroom, I looked behind the filthy toilet. Nothing. No hole in the wall or floor, common hiding spots for drugs or money. I moved on, flashlight in one hand, Halligan resting on my shoulder, ready to hit whatever came my way. In the kitchen, under the sink, I found it, a busted pipe. Thankfully, the shut-off valve worked. A moment later, Lieutenant Connor and his crew arrived. Jeff let them in. "What do you have there, Tony?" Lieutenant Connor asked. "It's a broken pipe under the sink, and I was able to shut the valve." "Good. Let's get the fuck out of here." On my way out, I glanced over at the triple beam on the table, and with one big swing of my Halligan, I smashed it into pieces, just to let them know we've been here. As we headed down the stairs to the caller's apartment, Lieutenant Connor informed the caller that the leak had stopped. All of a sudden, a very large Dominican woman started yelling at us to fix the ceiling in her kitchen. Lieutenant Connor told her, There was nothing we could do, but she started yelling again in very broken English, which we called Spanglish, saying that it's not safe and the ceiling will come down on them. We got no super in this building, she yelled. No problemo, the boss said. He turned to me. Tony, bring the hook in here and finish the ceiling. I grabbed my 6-foot hook and yanked the soggy plaster down. It made one hell of a mess. Lieutenant Connor looked at the woman. It's safe now. She shouted something in Spanish as we left, and judging by her face, it wasn't thank you. As we reached the lobby, we heard our chauffeur, Mickey Scalfato, on the radio. Hey Lou, you guys done up there? Yeah, Mickey, what's up? Dispatcher wants to know if we're available. 10-4, Mickey, put us 10-8. We started picking up the pace. Mickey's voice came back. We got a box, numerous calls, fire on the 4th floor of a multiple dwelling, 168th Street between Amsterdam and Broadway. By the sound of Mickey's voice and what he just told us, we knew we were going to work. Without even looking at each other, we ran for the door and threw our tools on the rig. I heard Mickey tell the Manhattan dispatcher we were on our way. It was a first due box and Mickey wouldn't have it any other way. I barely got into the tiller before Mickey put the pedal to the metal. With Lieutenant Connor leaning on the air horn, we serpentined up Amsterdam Avenue, dodging in and out of gypsy cabs like a giant red dragon. No one dared get in our way as we barreled up to 168th Street. Lieutenant Connor leaned out the window and gave a wave. His signal to me that we had a job. Engine 6-7 had just given a 1075 working fire. My heart raced. I saw the black smoke rising over the tenement rooftops. I could smell it now. Yeah, we had a good one. Oh, and by the way, my name is Tony Bonfiglio, and I was a New York City fireman, and this is my story.